All right, let's take a look at 5.8. And so I have my solution and my file left over from the last problem, and I think I'm going to use those because a lot of these things are in common. And so I'm going to get a file name. I still need to get kind of that list of unique words. And so now I've got to print out a concordance, or in other words, print out a number of each unique word. So a lot of this we can use again in our program here. So this file that can certainly be used, and then I can use some of these other items that I've got in here. So I got too many things open here. Where did I call it? 5.8. There we go. So if I look at the assignment, it says a concordance tracks the unique words in a file. So what we're looking for is it's going to go through this file, and in this case they said I am Sam, I am Sam, I am Sam. So it's going to take the 3 words in there, and it's going to count how many of there are, and we're going to submit that then, or it's going to output an output that looks like this. So we're gonna try. We're gonna see what we can do here. So let me get 5.8. So I copied this over and I called it the 5.8. And a lot of this we're going to use very similarly. However, one of them that I'm going to change is up here at the very top. I'm going to change the brackets on there. And what that change of the brackets does is that changes that to a dictionary. And that's what we're going to want for this. Remember, a dictionary has an item, and then it can have text or anything after it. So we could use the name, and then we could use count up each time we actually have one of those. So down to here, this is all going to be the same because we're still opening up a file. And in fact, I'm just going to use the file I had before. And then even some of these. So this, we're still going to have to read in all the lines, and we're still going to split them. And we can still use this, but now we're going to do something a little different. So we're going to add a little bit of change here. So I'm going to need another variable in here, and so I'm just going to call it freak. I can't spell frequency every time reliably, and I'm going to assign it unique dot get, and I'm going to pull that from word. So I'm going to have whatever word there is, and initially I'm going to say word, comma, and I'm going to use a Boolean. So it just means that there's nothing there. So what this is doing then is, as it comes through there, because we want to get that file, that name, and it's going to say, oh yeah, let's see, frequency equals, then I'm going to come down, and I'm going to see if we need to add some content in there. So I'm going to use an if statement. So if frequency is equal to none, so in other words, there's nothing already existing, then I'm going to do this. I'm going to say unique, and then I'm going to put the bracket, and I'm going to say word, because we're putting it back in there, of word is equal to 1. Okay. So then I'm going to do an else. So else, so if that's not true, and you can't see me pointing at the screen, so the other condition that can happen for each word then is I'm going to add it a value, so I'm going to add 1 to it. So I'm going to copy paste, and instead of just 1, it's going to be frequency plus 1. All right. So that gets us our list of unique words, and so we're making a new file with it. All right. So we always want to try these things. Let me see if anything's going to be out of. Okay. So I'm going to run this. Okay to save, yes. So again, looks exactly like the same. Please enter your file. So I called it sample.txt, and I made sure it's in the same folder. All right. So what do we have an error with? All right. I got to remember to put a capital on that. All right. Anyway, so we now are going through here, and we think what we're doing is we're adding. So we've made unique a dictionary, and so hopefully what's happening here. So we're pulling out a word, and we're either assigning it the value of none. So if none, we add 1 to it, and if we've seen it before, so in other words, it's the second or third or fourth or fifth time we see those, then we're going to add a value to it. All right, so I'm just going to leave that print unique in there really quickly. So let's see what it does when we ran that. And so when we ran it, so we pulled sample, it says, oh, the has 6 times, quick has 1 time, brown has 1, fox 1, jumps 1, Peru 1. So it gives me, it seems to actually work. Now, there's a couple of things that we may want to do to make this interesting. So what we'd like to do is print it out this way. So it says the word and then the number behind it. So, all right, if we're going to do that, we might need to do, there's 5, 8, there it is. So we might need to do something a little differently, and I'm just going to delete my print because that's not necessary. So prints out unique word and frequency. All right, so our input file could be still the same. So now we may need to do something a little different because we need to sort that. Okay, so we're going to show you something a little sneaky because there isn't really an easy sort on the dictionary ones directly. So we're going to actually do this. So we're going to say, I don't think I've used word. Well, I can because it doesn't matter. We're going to override it. Equals list unique dot keys. So we're going to create it just off of the keys. One more. And so now if I printed word, so sample.txt. Oh, it'd be helpful if I could spell my own word again. So now, oh look, we transferred that just the key values to words. Now, what's interesting is it considered that a word, and we don't have, in this one, we don't have instructions to peel that out, but obviously we'd have to look at that and why is that an issue, and we'll take a look at it. But all right, so words then is all the key values. So if I have the key values, I can get then that frequency that's assorted with them. But the first thing I want to do, the first thing I want to do is I want to create that in an order. So I could just say words.sort, and it's going to sort those for me. And then for word in words, since we've got that available to us, I can then go through each one and print word and then unique. So it'll print out the, so now it's going to make a running total if I did that right really quickly. So sample.txt. And so it did. It went through there and created those in alphabetical order. Now, if I wanted to do it in order of frequency, which we could certainly do, we could actually invert that a little bit and work differently and go on the basis of which one of those unique words is the largest and go and sort it by that. But that's a really quick way to construct that.